Hi guys, German Prepper here. We all from time to time find ourselves viewing world events through the lens of our own culture or society, with perhaps little understanding of the true motivations and beliefs of those caught up in events. The war in Europe's East is a prime example of this. Even putting aside Western media propaganda and the views our politicians espouse, it is still genuinely hard for a Western mindset at this moment in time to understand why the men and women involved are so determined to fight their war and convinced of their eventual victory. Today, I want to give you a look into the mindset of one such protagonist who, quite rightly or wrongly, is demonized in the West. Ramzan Akhmadovich Kadyrov, Lieutenant General and head of the Chechen Republic, is a Russian and Chechen politician who currently serves as a member of the Advisory Commission of the State Council of the Russian Federation. His direct forces are currently fighting hard in Ukraine. Here then, guys, is one of his latest statements on the war I have translated that offers some interesting, although highly biased, insight into the Russian Federation he so feverishly supports that you will never have heard reported on in Western media. Russia is a huge country, and there are so many resources in it that NATO and the West will get tired of counting. And military resources are much more than you can imagine. Even if we exclude reservists from the equation, we still have a colossal staff of employees who, one way or another, have good physical training and weapon skills. The Ministry of Emergency Situations, the FSPP, the FSB, the FSO, the Foreign Intelligence Service, the Federal Penitentiary Service, the Federal Customs Service, the Prosecutor's Office. Together with law enforcement and military departments, this is about 5 million people who regularly pass sports standards. If you leave 50% of the staff in office, then the second half of them, in the amount of 2.5 million people, will demolish any Western army, and you don't need a backup. The heads of these departments could already now begin to optimize the workflow, taking into account innovations. Honestly, evaders standing in line at the airport are a pitiful sight. And involuntarily you begin to understand that without this ballast, it will be better and easier for everyone. Parasites, lazy bones, dependents will never bring any benefit, only harm, useless people. Let them run away. But in big Russia, there are and always have been resources that the West has never taken into account. This is what makes us strong. There were deviators in the Great Patriotic War. But even then, both young and old stood up to defend the motherland, shoulder to shoulder. And if need be, I'm sure they'll get up today. Moreover, please note that our mobilization is different from the Ukrainian one, where men are forcibly detained on the street in order to send them, as they themselves say, for minced meat. We are just preparing a reserve, a month or two at the training ground, so that they remember the maneuvers and tactics, and then we'll see. Reserves are needed. Good. No need, even better. So men, gather your will into a fist. Yes, perhaps there is also the fault of our state, which allowed Western propaganda to spread its tentacles and dilute patriotic education. But still, a real man should dream of accomplishing a feat. So we will catch up, and everything will work out for us. There we are, guys. Fanaticism aside, he makes some interesting points on the scale of the manpower the Russian Federation might now bring to bear on not just Ukraine, but also any in Europe that stand against it. A question for you all now to end. Do you believe the West is collectively willing and indeed planning to match such colossal mobilization? As always, looking forward to reading your answers. Keep prepping, guys. Cheers for now.